Cisco's WebexONE and a few acquisitions they've made. How about you start off? You talk about the event, I'll talk about the acquisitions.
Yeah, so first off, WebexONE is the once-a-year conference. It's really the big bang about Cisco's Webex. If you're going to see new devices, new capabilities, this is the show that it's going to come out. And the first thing that grabbed your attention was the commitment to innovate to drive 10x better than in-person experiences, which talk about making a huge commitment. Now, I couldn't quite find out exactly how that 10x is measured, but it certainly is provocative. And the company did overturn pretty much everything. So an all new WebEx for meetings, messaging, calling, an expanded people insights that allows you to better manage your on the go and hybrid workforces. A brand new WebEx contact center that if you think about customers calling in, either in a call center or even sales for agents, business of all sizes, they updated their software to be better integrated into the calling function. There was also the addition of a new hub. While WebEx, it doesn't like Office 365 and Teams and Google Workspace, they don't have a built-in productivity, but Cisco's answer is to have what they consider best-in-breed integrations with Dropbox, with Box, with Slack, and a ton of other integrations. And then finally, you can't run software on air was a bunch of new hardware devices. And my take on the new hardware devices, Daniel, is getting a little bit closer to better serving the needs of a hybrid workforce. So first off, you had a 4K camera that works on a PC that is a managed camera and has some of those facial recognition and the ability to see who's in the room capabilities. So call it a smart camera. And then there's the desk hub where you can bring your smartphone, your headphones, or even a laptop and dock it, for lack of a better term. And I really liked a use case where you walk in to maybe your satellite office, or maybe it's your day to go into the office, and you ask, hey, where's their desk available? And it tells you where it is. Then you take your stuff and you park it. And then there's another solution called Desk, which is the kind of the smaller version of the Desk Pro that you and I have. So lower cost. And then finally, although this didn't get a whole lot of news, 2 mil-spec smartphones, VoIP smartphones based on Wi-Fi. But to me, if I look at where Cisco was 3 or 4 years ago in terms of devices and where they are today, they're getting a lot closer to what I think this new way of working and hybrid work. Now, make no mistake, this only runs WebEx and the integrations, which is a different kind of strategy that, let's say, a Poly or somebody like that takes. It is a more integrated. And really what they were talking about is with integration comes consistency of experience, consistency of management, and consistency in security, which again, I think a pretty good value proposition if that's what you're looking for. So that was really my I would call it the 5,000-foot version. I really want to experience it to get hands-on with these devices to get a better appreciation. Because I'll be honest with you, on the Desk Pro, I wasn't too excited when I was told one was coming, but now that I have it, I look forward to our morning Desk Pro chats that is better than a PC-based or a smartphone-based experience.
Yeah, I would say there's just no doubt, Pat, whatsoever that the the desk dedicated device still stands as the better way to do it. It's just not reasonable at scale at this point. Now, Cisco did make a little bit of a move here by coming out with a series of more capable, more size and cost efficient dedicated appliances. But being a Desk Pro user, I think my tweet was, I have a Desk Pro. I love it. I use it. That's the whole email. That's the whole text, the whole tweet. But at the same time, we do have this hybrid workforce. We do have our PCs. People largely are doing this on their PCs and mobile devices. So I think Cisco's trying to address all of those things. With that in mind, I do think the hub was an important add. I think integration is important. I think the closed architecture certainly adds value. I think the one thing Cisco just have to keep considering is, unfortunately, we don't only work with one platform because our customers are mixed. Some of our customers will be using Teams. Some of our customers will be using Zoom. And that's probably the only thing, Pat, I do really wish, if anything, I wish I could use my Desk Pro for those other calls, and that would be pretty cool. But I also understand why Cisco's doing it. So I'd say they're making a lot of steps. I'd say it's 4 or 5 steps forward for, any side steps. But that, by the way, is a challenge for every one of these collab companies. So it's not a unique challenge to Cisco. Quickly on Cisco too, part of their strategy for growth has been a series of small but very intelligent acquisitions. And the company made 2 this week. And I'll just quickly touch on them because we got to get to the next topic. But Monday morning, the company came out and announced a acquisition of a company called IMI Mobile or IMI Mobile. And it's basically a contact center solution. Basically, Pat, you talked about some of these enhanced capabilities. Well, you're seeing contact center almost becoming closer to a customer data platform at this point, being able to fully, engage with data, high volumes that, goes beyond the enterprise suite. And that's what IMI Mobile or IMI Mobile is basically allowing them to do, is to use data beyond just what's in their system to get more consistent connections with customers, more enhanced interactive data with channels like social and messaging and voice, all part of the system that the contact center are going to be able to see. So this is a pretty smooth acquisition, especially what it can do based on about a $730 million deal. Now, if we're listening, remember Slackforce was a $27 billion deal. So this was 1/40th the size of that deal. And it gave some nice capabilities within the Cisco ecosystem. The other one is one that you probably heard more about, and that's Slido.
Absolutely.
You've used it before. I used it today on a call with Cloudera, where you can kind of interact, ask questions, answer surveys. This was like a way, basically, this was the product that 2020 was begging for. Look, all these live and virtual meetings are dying for some interactivity. Slido is a great little way, inexpensive and efficient, to add interaction. You can do polls, you can ask questions, you can engage, you can respond to content. All in real time through the platform, which integrates into your meeting on WebEx, Zoom, and other platforms. Now, having said that, you got to kind of wonder what's Cisco's intent here. Will Cisco continue to keep this open, or is this going to be something that gets baked into the overall platform? I think it'd be smart, at least for a while, to keep it open while they're figuring out the best way to apply it. But another smart little piece of business, there wasn't a disclosure in terms of price. By the way, this company has raised like nothing, and it got as far as it did. It was like one financial raise 3 years ago. I'm not even sure. I can't remember the number, but it wasn't very much. So it was a nice win. Slido, I think, is Eastern European, by the way, in terms of its roots.